And we are going to hit, oh, where did it go? 1 second. Oh, this thing is bugging me today. Okay. Okay, we are going live. It's going to take 1 minute. All right. Okay. I am so excited, you guys. I have the pleasure of introducing this amazing, amazing woman. I've had the pleasure of working with Lauren for the past 6 weeks. Many of you seen my beginning Ask an Expert interview that I did with her. If you haven't seen it, I recommend to go and watch it on our YouTube channel, which is Beauty Referral. And I'm just going to share this into our group so everybody can get a chance to meet you. I am going to share right
I'm
now.
charging my computer. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to share this into our group and then we're going to have a conversation. So, um, Lauren, if you'd like to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your work and how you came to this journey that you're on, and then we're going to talk. I'm a walking testimony and I live by example, so I want to share what we went through and then my end result, and then we're going to talk a little bit about a couple other things as well. But start with an introduction to yourself.
Hey, so I'm Lauren, and I am a natural bioenergetics specialist. So, a natural bioenergetics specialist is we use a combination of traditional Chinese medicine, um, applied kinesiology, which is basically muscle testing, and then a whole bunch of other things together that help us really narrow in really specifically on what the body needs and in what priority in order to become more robust and more healthy. So I, how did I get here? Kind of got ambushed, by source. I have been a nutrition advisor. I have sort of done the whole healthy thing my whole life. I've been a coach for a really long time, and this particular way of approaching health and solving issues that come up for us really changed my family. And I thought, my daughter actually wanted to do the training and become a specialist. And I was like, that would be so fantastic. I didn't realize that I would be kind of steered in this direction. What I felt was accidental, but I can really see what it's done is pulled all the threads of the expertise I've gained over many, many 25 years and kind of brings it into formation in a way that I get to support women, a lot of women and men and children, actually, families as well. So I guess the story is that it kind of came by accident, but it's been the most spectacular thing to not just be able to sort of support people in a coaching environment, but also bring tangible, specific results physically. And we certainly saw that in our family with a bunch of healing that we've done in the last couple of years. And now, yeah, Callie is one of the clients I've been able to work with. It's just so satisfying.
Right. And right now, I think the world is opening up to different modalities. Everybody's waking up to things that are going on that are not supposed to be happening to us. A lot of it is out of our control, but some of it is part of our control, and it's about a decision that you make for yourself, for your health, for your well-being. And finding people like yourself, I wanted to first of all say thank you to Jillian Drader. I'm so grateful to her and also Patricia because, if I didn't start working with them and learning about the scanner and different things, we never would have met. And, I thank Jillian every single day because, starting to work with you, I've seen a dramatic change in myself, but also better understanding my own health and the things that I'm going through and also the traumas that my body has been holding on to over the years. I mean, we all know that, when you store trauma inside, it affects you on a cellular level, and it also blocks you from being able to heal and also the energy flowing properly in your body to allow you to heal.
Mm.
And, it's just remarkable. the modalities that you do, it's something that I've never seen before. I've been part of, this journey myself, trying to understand what was wrong with me. Now that we've pinpointed what was wrong, it's about how do we clear that and the blocks and the energy and also my health in general, to allow my body to heal and regenerate itself, which is our all of our bodies are designed to do those things, but
Mhm.
you need to learn the steps that your body needs and wants in order to get to that next level. And I'm learning about myself every single day. Like
Mhm.
it's just,
True.
you know, it's incredible what you can learn when you really hone in on what's good for you, what's not good for you, and also the things that are going on in your head.
Mm,
Like
right.
we are our biggest critic, but we are also the ones that are stopping ourselves from so much. So
Mm.
let's talk a little bit about the different modalities that you use, and then we'll talk a little bit about what we did.
Yeah. So really, we really are using traditional Chinese medicine, the five element theory, as the main way that we're approaching the body. Because the way and it's so funny because I've always been so fascinated by Chinese medicine and never knew much about it. I just thought it's such a different way of looking at the body, but it is so brilliant. It's been around for thousands and thousands of years, and actually. Western medicine until 200 years ago was very much along the same lines of thinking. It's more us modern people who have really not experienced that holistic way of viewing health that it's new to us. But our grandparents and a few, they knew all this. But one of the things that I find so empowering in that way, this way of looking at health is that you're given a certain amount. Actually, generationally, you receive it from your parents. So, in other words, if you come from a long line of stress in your family system, it will affect how much energy you have. So, you're basically given so much life force at the beginning of your life, and it gets used up in lots of different ways. And when there's stressors in the body, systems not functioning well, whether from chemicals or stress or like external stuff, but a lot of it's internal, then it's like one part of the body's over functioning, one part's under functioning. And Chinese medicine is about let's just remove the blocks so that the body can equalize that. And then the body will do what it's designed to do, which is to heal. And that just way of looking at it, that the more that you rob Peter to pay Paul from one system to the other, because we don't deal with the energy imbalances or the system imbalances over time, that one system that's just getting rammed the whole time for decades will put you into a place that death is the only way because your body can't come back from a certain point of, where it's been stressed to that level. So because so much of that's hidden from our mind and we rely on our mind as the primary, vessel that we interpret everything. And if I can't understand it, it must not be real, the way that our Western minds have been developed. Whereas this type of philosophy is like, actually, there's a lot going on that we can't see. And the reality is, we breathe air we can't see, all kinds of things. Like when we actually think about it, it's really kind of dumb. But once we open up to that reality that our bodies are telling us things that we just didn't know what that was, we didn't know what that ache was telling us, or that we just haven't learned that. And one of the things I love, Calli, that you've grown in, and I see this happen with all of us, including myself, is we actually know a lot more than we realize that we know. And through the muscle testing that we're doing and just checking what it is your body needs, almost 99% of people are like, oh, I knew that. I just wasn't sure if it was true or whether I could trust it. So over a period of time, as we're checking in what the body needs, almost always it's like, I knew that. And it reinforces and encourages you to believe what your body's telling you, and then being able to translate that into, well, what do I need to do about that if my body's telling me this? And most of the time it's that we need to rest, which doesn't mean lay around for weeks. It means take a 10-minute break sometimes. And so when we actually zero in and find out, okay, your body wants you to rest, but let's ask, how much rest does your body need and what does rest look like for your body? Those are some of the more specific answers we can get. And then you can go like, oh, well, I could do 10 minutes. That's not out of the scope of even possibility, but also we can get our head around it and we'll actually do it. And then we're actually using kind of a needleless acupuncture way of actually releasing the stress within the meridians in the body, the stress, the the energy system. And that's what brings the release of the stress, the release of maybe like those memories or the experiences that we've had that are stored stress, like Callie said, but we can release it without you having to talk about it. You have to, yeah. So then what happens very quickly is the body's like, oh, I can deal with this now because it's not overstressed. So I like to see it like a picture of water, like most of us have it overflowing the top. Like we just have more going on than we have the capacity to manage. And what we're doing is just releasing the valve at the bottom so that at the top you end up with having like space. Imagine having space so that you're not overflowing all the time. And then the body systems are able to, everything starts to regulate more effectively. And your body actually, what's fascinating is the things that are loudest right now when you're in that place of overwhelm are different. We deal with those. And then pretty soon, when there gets to be space, the body's like, yeah, over here, the small intestine over here, like we need help, but we haven't been the biggest emergency, so we haven't said anything. Just like when you're not drinking enough water, your body stops telling you that you're thirsty. And once you start drinking water, your body's like, actually, we want a lot more water. And then your thirst mechanism will return. It's kind of the same idea. So
I
I don't know if I've answered your question, but
Yeah, no, that's great. And now, so let's get into it a little bit because I want people to understand many of you guys have seen my story and dealing with my health and my fertility and my spinal injury and all these kind of things. And I didn't know what to expect when I started working with Lauren. And I just released any expectations when it came to what I was going to learn and what I was going to learn about myself. And it's all about like in Chinese medicine, they always say about restoring your chi. And I think
is
it's
that
such
life
a
force? Yeah.
it's exactly that because you don't really realize what's going on internally until something happens. Like Lauren said, is like, oh, I have this pain in my shoulder, but maybe you've been living with that pain for a while, but you just didn't know it, or you didn't know what the cause of it was. So being able to pinpoint exactly what's going on with your own health allows you to understand yourself better, but also make those conscious decisions to make changes that you need to make in your life. And I feel like a completely different person from the time that we started working together. So let's talk a little bit about, I guess, from where I was in the beginning. And I have also my vitality report here. She's every single session, she sends you notes about what's discussed and also little bits of homework and little things that you can do every day in order to get things flowing again. So don't think of it as like you have to upset and change your whole life.
Mm.
It's things that you may already have been doing, but you just need to do it differently. And that's what I loved. I mean, there's, you know, from the very beginning, I had a lot of the tools that my body wanted me to use and also
Yeah.
products as well. I just wasn't doing them correctly or doing them enough. So I really love that because now I have a vitality plan and I'm going to stick with it because that's what my body requires in order for me to heal and also feel better emotionally, energetically, and so much more. So let's talk about like from day one where I
Hmm.
was.
Hmm.
And we did a bunch of tests as well. So we talked about the organs, and the main ones were the liver, bladder, small intestine, and hypothalamus. Those were the main points that had come up in the test. And when we started out, I mean, half of them, it's almost like there was no energy flow at all. Like they weren't even functioning properly. And then going through the 6 week program, there's been a remarkable change. So let's talk a little bit about that. How does that work over time? And
Hmm.
we can even share, I'm okay with sharing like my beginning results and my numbers because I think it's important for people to understand from a energy perspective and also a cellular level that you don't know what's going on in your body. Like I had no idea that those four things were what was my challenge. I didn't
Hmm.
even know that those weren't even on my radar, to be honest.
Yeah, how could they be?
Yeah.
You didn't even know. Yeah. So I'm wondering, would it be beneficial for me to share my screen so
Yeah, let
people
me
can
make you
see
a
it?
host. That would be amazing.
because I think that might be helpful. The place that we start together is with a vitality plan. It's a 6 week, but the way that it starts is really important. Is we ask a question um, about what is over the previous 6 weeks. So from today, over the previous 6 weeks, how has your life balance index, we call it. So like this is related to things like exercise and nutrition and sleep and spiritual nourishment and habits and rest and sort of super practical things. How is your body doing? And we're aiming for 75, around 75%. We're actually not aiming for 100 in this case because we live on this planet. So 75 is a really great number. And of course, this is taking into account all the stress we've experienced and all the things. So I'm going to just share with you what the starting point was with Calli. Yeah, so can you guys see that okay?
Yes.
So this is the end. So we're seeing the beginning and the end numbers. So we started asking the question over the previous 6 weeks on February the 6th, what is the overall life balance index? And it was 26%. Most people start between, probably most people are around 30 to 40.
Right.
Yeah. Lots of stress. And then what we asked was, the first thing we asked is, what's the energy flow index of, I have a list of organs and glands and sort of body systems. And the body kind of selects which ones we want to prioritize. And then we ask, what is the energy flow index? And I want to ask, what is energy flow index? We're not able to find out the health of your liver, the function of your liver, all that kind of stuff. That would require a medical scan or something like that. We're actually asking this on an energy level. And what happens is the better the flow of energy through any system in the body, the more robust, the more healthy it will be, the more capacity it'll have to manage, life. So the higher indexes, the higher the number. And these ones we are aiming for 100 optimally. So we find out what your body's priorities are. So we went into the 6 weeks knowing that liver, bladder, small intestine, hypothalamus were the areas that we wanted to focus on. And sometimes we did that explicitly, like when I would ask, what's the priority for this session? Sometimes it came up. And actually, we worked on hypothalamus, I think, on the very first session. Your body's like, we want to start here. And over time, some of the corrections that we did using the needleless acupuncture were specifically focused on the hypothalamus and all the emotional components of what was contributing to the hypothalamus struggling. And but what's interesting, some of these we actually never did a specific correction for the bladder. What we were doing is in priority of the body, whatever was coming up that needed to be resolved was your body knew what was going to support the things that it needed. So the cool part is we don't have to be that smart. We just have to ask questions of the body because your body actually knows what it needs. And what this does is it's so gentle. And I think we've all kind of experienced at different times when some kind of a treatment, even sometimes a counseling session or like a medical procedure has felt jarring on our body, even a chiropractic adjustment sometimes can feel jarring because it's too much for what our body needs right now, but it's the best we know what to do, right? So in this way, we know what the body needs in what order, and it always feels gentle, which I particularly love. So take a look at the end of the 6 weeks, and we checked these throughout. So the liver went from 24 to 45. Obviously, that will continue to improve. Bladder, 6% to 72%. And keep in mind that this is the bladder organ, but it's also linked in with the bladder meridian. And the bladder is often related to fear, which for most of us is stuff that happened to us super young that we wouldn't even say, oh, I'm not afraid now, but there's fear running in that bladder. So when we're able to release that, then the bladder's like, whew, I can do what I need to do again. So that's a huge, huge jump. Small intestine. So that's where all the nutrients are absorbed in our body, 41% to 98%. And hypothalamus, which is a master gland, is right here above the roof of the mouth, 11% to 97%. And out of interest, we saw the hypothalamus jump to 97 quite early on. And then the other organs, in your case, everybody's different. Everybody's body is doing what it needs to do to and receiving what it needs so that the body can then do what it's meant to do. So at the end of the 6 weeks, Last week we checked what is the life balance index today, that day for the previous 6 weeks. And it had jumped to 71%, which is pretty fantastic. And what this shows is this includes all the work we did in session, but it also includes, I want to show you this. Um, I don't actually think it's on this, but it includes Calli doing the things that came up in addition. So this is actually one part of that initial vitality plan. The other things we're checking are what else does Calli's body want to prioritize? And actually, let's just take a look at the ones for this next week or this next 6 weeks is music, 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes 3 times a day. And the thing is, Calli was already doing that. It just
Right.
made it really specific. So she knew she was doing the right thing and she knew precisely how long and which music, because that just says music, but we itemized exactly what it was her body wanted her to listen to. Now she can use that effort and energy she has to do something that's actually going to make a significant difference. These are all the most significant differences, not just a little helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one was to listen to someone that she already loved, and now she knew it was actually beneficial for this particular season to listen to that, 3 times a week. So that's what Calli had to go home and do. Like it's not heavy. Your body's often. I did a session yesterday with a woman who she's like, "Oh my gosh, is that all I have to do?" Because she thought she needed to do all this stuff, and what her body
Right.
asked her to do was very light and easy, and that's almost always the case.
Yeah. And so, I wanted to take a little bit more of a deeper dive because, during the sessions working with Lauren, there was actually quite some remarkable things that popped up. And I wanted to share that with you guys because I think it's so important that my body was actually telling me um the products that I needed, the products that I was taking that wasn't actually absorbing into my body. And like that was because of the small intestine wasn't absorbing the nutrients properly and things. So I was taking a whole bunch of products, but I wasn't feeling any better. And there was a
Mhm.
reason for that. And during the one session with Lauren, and this one actually blew my mind. So I have the picture because I think this is just the coolest thing ever. So many of you know that I've been dealing with the one area in my back that, some people thought it was a knot. I already had the blood clot removed once, but I kept getting these headaches and it was stemming from this one area of my back. And Lauren asked my body what exactly is the area. And then she brought up a diagram, and this blew my mind. Okay, you guys, this blew my mind. I mean, she is just as powerful as our scanner, I'm telling you. So she actually pinpointed the exact nerve in my back that's been causing me the problems, and she emailed this to me. And when I scanned myself, it actually verified that that's the exact same spot. So now I'm actually waiting to see a specialist next week about this. So, you know, sometimes we have something going on in our body, but we don't really know exactly what it is. And having these amazing tools and amazing people part of our network like Lauren, it really just brings it home. We're creating this network of amazing practitioners and
Mhm.
products and different modalities for a reason. It's to educate you, it's to help people learn about their bodies, learn about what's going on with yourself, your health, your mindset, your energy, and how to feel better. It all goes together hand in hand. What's going on internally affects what's going on out externally. What's going on in your mind affects the surroundings and the things that you're dealing with and the things that you're attracting. They're all connected. And since working with her, I've felt a dramatic change, but also more confidence in
Mhm.
knowing that I'm doing the right thing for my body.
Mhm.
Since then, I've gotten a period. I've been taking,
Mhm.
I've had this, I've also had this product sitting here for quite a while. And when she asked my body, after going through all of the steps, asked my body if this would help with my fertility. I got this product from another practitioner in our group and it's been sitting in my cupboard. So now that I know that this product particularly will actually help my body heal and my fertility and everything else, and now I'm actually able to absorb it. But before working with Lauren, if I were to take this product, I would have just wasted it. And, learning about that my body wanted the red light therapy, but it didn't want the blue right away. And, that the red light therapy, how many times a day and how long do I have to do it? And, all of these tools that we are given, um, they all work together, but they might not all work together if your energy is not flowing or if your body's not right. So let's talk a little bit about how do we get to how do we how do we start working with you, and like what are the steps to take for somebody that's watching this video and want to learn more, or if they'd like to do a consultation with you, how does it all work?
Hmm. Yeah, I like to start. I on my website actually the link there actually takes you to book a session or book a time with me where we just kind of talk about what's been happening for you because I can't help you with everything.
Right.
And just finding out like what is happening, what's been frustrating, what have you tried, that kind of stuff. And basically my commitment from that call is that if I can help you all let you know how we could work together. But if not, I have like all the options that we can test. Like, what is the best? Do you need to go see a specialist? Do you need to go see somebody else? Do you need to see another person that does what I do, but with a different we all have our energy library. All of our experience in our life is available to you when you work with me. So maybe you need someone else with some different specialties. Maybe you need a nutritionist, or you need a chiropractor who does what I do, or whatever. So we basically you leave with a specific game plan for you about what would be recommended for you to consider and add, and then of course go away and decide what you want to do. But that call with me can be really informative about what might be a direction to go, because so often we're just left unsure, and the options can either be maybe at the same time overwhelming and
Mhm.
completely under we don't have enough information to know what would be the best. So we're really throwing spaghetti at the wall, and it can be very expensive spaghetti sometimes when we're investing in ourselves, or if we're going the medical system, we don't trust that they're actually looking at the whole thing. Because especially when we work with specialists, they're very good at the lane that they're in, and they often then can't look at the broader picture of all the contributing factors. So a specialist is sometimes the best thing that you need, but when do you need the specialist is often really helpful to know. So yeah,
Yeah.
that call will really help you know where
Yeah,
to go.
and I'm gonna make sure to put Lauren's website in the chat after this, because I think it's important if you come across this video to reach out to her. I mean, she's an amazing human being. I'm so grateful to Jillian every single day for introducing us, because I
Mm,
feel like I have more control over my life and my health and
wow.
also my mindset. The one thing that was really remarkable us working together, which I've started to notice a little bit more now that I'm clearing all the energy in the blocks is, when we were working together, what she was doing, I could actually feel it in my body. And it was quite interesting. And, that's something that I've never been able to really feel before, especially from a distance. So,
Mm.
you never really know what your body's capable of, and also
True.
your body is such an amazing he has an amazing healing mechanism when you get rid of all the junk.
Oh my gosh, right?
Right? Like things, you don't even realize the things that your body and energy is holding on to. Like we cleared so many things out of my system.
Mm,
And I'm just so grateful that, I'm continuing this healing journey. But now that I've actually experienced it, that I can stand here safely and say that, I recommend Lauren. And I think that it's so important when building this network and this amazing platform that we're creating, that you all have access to people like her. That's why we're doing this. That's why we're creating this network. That's why we're putting this program in place, not just for referrals, but for you to learned for education, for you to understand yourself. And that's so important when we're on this journey about making the correct decisions for your health, for your family's health, and for your best interest. Because the world is waking up to this and to what's going on and all the corruption, and we're not going to get into that. But you have a decision. Watching this video, now you can make a choice on what direction you want to go for your family's best interest and health. And I think that's so important.
Hmm, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Awesome.
You had a question you wanted me to answer
Yes.
on the we were going to do it right before the call. You're like, let's ask the question while we're recording. Is that still something you want to do?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So basically, in order to ask, Calli's got an injury in her shoulder and was mentioning that she'd like to maybe start taking some supplements again to support it. And I was like, well, what if we asked what would be most supportive? So we thought, well, why don't we ask right now? So we're going to do just what we would do in a session. I've just checked that my body is balanced, which means that my the answers that we're going to get are correct. So now I'm going to check that Calli's balanced, and then we'll ask the questions, and you can just watch us do this.
Awesome.
Okay, can you say yes, Calli?
Yes.
Can you say no?
No.
Awesome. Can you put either hand over your belly button? Awesome. And then the same hand on the top of your head. Excellent. You're balanced. Okay, so we've just done a very quick balance. And the way that we do this, actually, we can do it so much faster than other methods. So if you're someone who does this and you're like, whoa, that was fast, it's amazing how fast we can balance, which is
Yeah.
great. So now we know that the answers to the questions we're going to get, and I'm basically using myself as a surrogate because we're working online here. So it's awesome. We can work anywhere in the world on Zoom. And actually, I
Yeah.
don't even need you there. With your permission, I can ask the questions
Right.
without you here. So it's amazing.
And so just a preface, you guys, a couple weeks ago, I actually feel like I tore the tendons in my shoulder. I was carrying something quite heavy, and I've been in excruciating pain ever since. I was actually at the clinic a couple days ago and got an x-ray, and I'm waiting for my ultrasound because I feel like I tore the ligaments in my shoulder. I mean, I've done scans and different things, but I want to start adding supplements that can help my body heal faster. So that's what we're going to be doing right now.
And I was just looking back at that last session. We did a little bit of support around that, but this is what you need to do next is important. So let's just ask what would be the most significantly beneficial to help that shoulder heal and also prevent, like create more strength in the body so that an injury doesn't happen so easily again? What are the missing pieces? Is there something nutritionally that would be hugely supportive? Your body's actually saying no nutritionally, but let's just zero in on that. Are we talking about is there a supplement? Is it additional protein? Okay, so that's why I wanted to check because nutritionally is a very broad question, right?
Right.
So is additional protein significantly beneficial? Yes. Do we want a certain type of protein? Like we want whey protein, uh, collagen. Is collagen better for Callie's, the specific thing going on in her body, better than whey? No, they would be equal for you, but let's just check from for Callie's body. Is there a whey protein that would agree with your stomach? No. So if you could eat whey protein, it would work equally well. Is collagen generally better for Callie's system as far as digestion? Yes. It doesn't mean that every collagen would be good for your system, but you could then find some and check it. Do you have any in your cupboard right now?
No, but I do have an actual plant-based protein shake. Maybe that might help.
That's significantly helpful. Yeah. So
Oh,
the one that Callie's thinking about, what would be the ideal dose to support healing um, if she were to continue with that one? Is it measured by scoops?
yes.
Okay. How many scoops per day would be optimal? Not one. Your body just wants one scoop a day. And
Hmm.
is it taking it all at once? Yes.
Okay.
So your system, once that plant protein is gone, would Callie prefer, would it be more beneficial to continue with that one? No, once that's gone, your body would like to have to switch to collagen. Um, is it important for Callie's diet as well to just have her be thinking about eating, like consciously eating more protein, yes, definitely be doing that with your meals. And when you're eating the collagen shake, the collagen powder, you can sprinkle it on your food, not just drink it as a liquid. Because one of the things when we're eating liquid like that is we're not adding a lot of saliva to it. So
Mhm.
either when you put it in your mouth, swish it around, get a lot of the saliva infused and then swallow it. That's also a really extra thing. But collagen's great because you can put it in
Yeah.
food.
Yeah, I was looking, I was actually looking because the same company that has the stem cell therapy that I've been taking, they also have collagen. So I was
Okay, so
looking
let's
into
just
that.
ask that. Have you actually felt that in your hands?
Not yet.
Okay, so we can't test it, the frequency of it if you haven't felt it. But just as an interesting point, when Callie mentioned that her body wasn't absorbing the nutrients, part of that was the small intestine, and part of it was her body was sensitive to some of the ingredients. So we actually were able to do a correction. So her body knew what to do with it, like metabolize the product, and then it was working for her. And that's often the case, right? That we don't know how the body's responding to something we're investing in, whether it's being flushed down the toilet, or actually doing what we're hoping that
Right.
it will do. So is there anything else we need to know about any extra nutrients? So there are other nutrients your body wants.
I'm
Are some of them in a supplement? Okay, so what comes to your mind that you
I'm
might
still
add?
taking the Volcani Max.
Yeah, your
But
body wants
maybe
that.
it's the blue. We haven't retested this yet.
Okay, let's ask. Can you just would that make it significantly helpful? Your body's like, yeah, no, don't want that right now.
Hmm,
No.
interesting. What about
Um,
I got one more.
yeah.
This is also from the stem cell company, noni juice.
Oh yeah, your body loves that stuff.
Ah, that's amazing. I just went to go learn about it last week.
Is it a protein?
It
Has it got
has
collagen in it?
no zero protein.
Okay, your body wants that.
Okay, perfect.
How much of that is that are we wanting that every day? Like a teaspoon or like is that a dose? So often when they're packaged like that,
Yep,
that's a
one
dose.
single drink packet.
Your body would love that.
Ah,
If not every day, like once or twice. Would it make a significant difference with the actual tissue? Okay, so it's actually saying the specific question we're asking around the tissue that it would help with that, or it would be supportive to the body. And so 7 times a week is is good, but your body's like it would be just as good to have it for three times a week.
cool. I
So
just
you
went to
don't
go
need
learn
to do
about
it
this
every
last week.
day,
It's from the same company as the stem cell that I'm taking. So that's just confirms that they have amazing products and my body
right?
wants it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So is there any other specific nutrients that would be like from a supplement perspective, like magnesium, calcium?
Calcium.
Do you have a calcium in your house already?
No,
Have you taken one recently that you would buy again?
no.
Okay. So I was thinking we could test what you have and double check that it's working for you. Um, is so calcium would be a good one to consider.
Would acupuncture help? I wonder.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Anything else you're wondering about? Because we're
No, I
sometimes you
think
kind
that
of already have
I
it.
think that's pretty that's a good start for me, I think. I'll
Yeah.
start on the noni juice and
And the protein.
and the protein. Yeah. I'll
Absolutely.
make a shake and put noni juice in my shake.
Okay, and so actually, let's just check. So the one scoop, I'm curious how much protein is in that. Let me just give you a general for the next
Should I
six
actually
weeks.
get the
Yeah, if you can grab it, what I'd like to give you is a specific amount per day to have as a goal, so you're accurate as I'm not talking to Kelly. Um, so what would be the optimal like protein supplement baseline for Callie for optimal, like just helping those fibers in her
it's
body?
also alkaline too, which is even better.
Yeah. So oh yeah, nice pH. What would the protein per scoop be?
16 grams to 21 daily value 21%. That's pretty big.
So it's 16 grams and that's one scoop?
Yep.
Okay. So would Callie's body after she's done that want more than 16 grams? So yeah, no, so between 15 and 16 is all good. So yeah, anywhere in there, is there an upper limit that would be too much? Yeah, more than 20, 25. So don't do more than 25 grams
Got it. Yeah, I'll
of
just stick with the
supplemental
one
protein.
scoop a day.
Yeah.
I was making one shake every morning, so maybe I'll start that back up again. I think that would really help.
Yeah, your body would prefer it in the morning. Absolutely.
Awesome.
way to go. Well, that
This
was
is
fun.
amazing. See, you don't know what you don't know. I can't stress this enough. I highly recommend to book a session and learn from Lauren. Getting a better understanding of what your body needs allows it to heal quicker. So it's just been an incredible pleasure. Thank you. I know we went a little bit longer, but thank you so much, Lauren, for everything that you've done for me, everything that you do for humanity. And I'm grateful to have you a part of our referral network and for people to work with you. Like I'm just grateful every day that Jillian introduced us. And I've learned so much about my health ever since we started working together. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for
My
that.
pleasure.
And thank you for taking the time to go through my results of the vitality plan because I think it's really important when you put it into a perspective of the 6 week plan and you actually look at where you were and where you are now. And I think I continue to notice things different, different things improving every day.
Mm.
Other than the shoulder pain, I feel
Yeah.
pretty great.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Such a pleasure.
Awesome.
Thank you, Callie.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Mm. See you.
Bye, everyone.